I hope you all are doing good. We are going through dreadful times, testing times, so please do take extra care. For my last video, I received some feedback, some comments, and I want to thank all of you for your constructive criticism. It's indeed a privilege to get corrected by the best. So, thank you. The poem that I'm going to read out today is titled as Divorce. It's by Jackie Kay, a Scottish poet. It's taken from her collection, Darling, New and Selected Poems. So, Jackie Kay is currently the Scottish Macaw, the national poet of Scotland. This position was created by the Scottish government back in 2004, and she was declared the national poet in the year 2016. So, Jackie Kay's poetry is known for its simplicity, its clarity, and its striking imagery. So, Scottish poetry in general is known for its sea imagery, and Jackie Kay is no different. She makes use of this sea imagery quite often in her poetry, and also you will find that she makes use of Scottish dialects in her poetry. So she was actually born to a Nigerian father and a Scottish mother, but later she was adopted by white parents, and these foster parents were quite famous and influential. Her foster father was an active Communist Party leader, and the mother was a participant in the nuclear disarmament campaign. This poem, Divorce, is structured like a monologue. The entire poem is made up of a speech by a teenage girl, a girl who wants to divorce her parents. Okay, so this is not a familiar concept to us, but there are many countries where they have a legal provision called emancipation. A child above the age of 14 who has got a stable income and who has got a proven ability to use the income wisely can opt for a separation from his or her parents. And we have many celebrities as examples also. Okay, this poem will make you reconsider your idea or your understanding of the institution of family. We understand family as a unit, right? Where members love each other, they take care of each other, they stand up for each other, right? This is our basic understanding of a family. But how do we understand the child? Okay, what is our understanding of the child? How do we perceive his or her identity? Okay, this is a crucial question, and we always say that the children are the promise of the future. Okay, that's in terms of future, but how do you define the child in terms of the present? Okay, what is a child now? Okay, how important is a child when he or she is still a child? Okay, that is a question that needs to be answered. In this poem, you will find that the child or the speaker, a teenage girl, is she makes a strong statement that I want to divorce you. I cannot take this any longer. Okay, so what happens is when there is a crucial decision to be made in the family, it's always made by the elders. They never consult the children when it comes to making decisions. And children are never part of the important discussions in the family, but at the same time they are expected to abide by the decisions. Okay, we expect our children to be obedient, disciplined and respectful, but are we ready to give all of it back? Are we ready to accept the child as the child? Are we ready to respect the child for his or her uniqueness? Okay, these are questions that we need to seriously think about. And in this poem, you will see the teenage girl thinking through her experiences, how her mother reacts to certain situations, how her father behaves in a different manner, how she is tired of both of them. Children are actually subalterns. They are marginalized subjects within the institution of family. We speak for them. We decide for them. We give them options to choose from. We shape their preferences. And it is we who mold their tastes. For us, the children is always the weaklings, the dependents who needs our protection. You will see that whenever a couple heads for divorce, people trying to put in all their efforts to stop them from committing the mistake. Okay, they would say that for the sake of your children you need to reconsider the decision. Your child will not want this, your decision will break the child, and what, okay, so they have all these arguments ready. And how can you decide, or how can you assume what a child would prefer? How can you say that a child would want this is best for the child? We cannot say that. And how dare we assume that the child would prefer to live in an atmosphere of hatred? We have no right to do that. And that is what precisely this poem is all about. And this poem reminds us that the child might have an opinion after all, and that the child might be done with all the family drama, and that the child would prefer his or her mental peace over the so-called protection that you have to offer. Now I will read the lines. The poem is titled Divorce. I did not promise to stay with you till death do us part, or anything like that. So part I must, and quickly. There are things I cannot suffer any longer. Mother, you never ever said a kind word or thank you for all the tedious chores I have done. Father, your breath smells like a camel's and gives me the hump. All you ever say is, are you off in the cream puff, Lady Muck? In this day and age, I would be better off in an orphanage. I want a divorce. There are parents in the world whose faces turn up to the light, who speaks in the soft murmur of rivers and never shout. There are parents who stroke their children's cheeks in the dead of night and sing in the colorful voices of rainbows, red to blue. These parents are not you. I never chose you. You are rough and wild. I don't want to be your child. All you do is shout, and that's not right. I will file divorce in the morning at first light. This poem is quite an eye-opener. Let's learn from the lines. Let's begin to look at our children differently. Let's keep in mind that they would be better off in an orphanage if you cannot offer them peace to prosper. Thank you.